and Nikola Tesla standing there with this old farmer, where he's running his whole farm on this device where he has stakes in the ground.
Ever heard of inventors who came up with something amazing and then vanished without a trace? It's more than science fiction, it's a warning. From engines that ran without fuel to strange energy devices, these creators had big ideas and even bigger mysteries. What happened to them? Let's dive into the strangest disappearances. Dr. Ning Lee, the anti-gravity scientist who vanished. Dr. Ning Lee was a Chinese-American physicist who worked on something that sounds like science fiction, anti-gravity. She moved to the United States in the year 1983 and started working at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. People who knew her said she was incredibly smart and passionate about her work. In the early 1990s, Dr. Lee began studying a strange idea. She believed that if you spun certain atoms inside a superconductor, a special kind of material, it could create a force that pushes against gravity. This force might help things float without using engines or fuel. She worked with another scientist, Dr. Douglas Torr, and they wrote research papers together. Her ideas were bold, and they caught attention quickly. By the late 1990s, Dr. Lee was making real progress. In the year 1999, she started her own company called AC Gravity, LLC. She even received nearly $500,000 from the US Department of Defense in 2001. The goal was to help her continue her anti-gravity research. That meant the government was taking her work seriously. Then, in 2003, something strange happened. Dr. Lee sent an email saying she had seen a powerful result in her experiment, an energy output of 11 kilowatts. That's a big number. But after that message, she simply disappeared from the public eye. No new research papers came out, no interviews, no updates from her company. It was like she had vanished. People started making guesses. Some thought she had returned to China. Others believed she was working on secret government projects. A few even claimed she had been silenced. In 2008, China tried to bring her back to help with their research, but her son later shared that she refused. She stayed in the US because she felt loyal to her new home, even if it cost her opportunities. In 2014, Dr. Lee was hit by a car while walking on the university campus. She suffered brain damage from the accident. Her husband, who saw it happen, had a heart attack soon after and passed away in 2015. Dr. Lee never fully recovered. She developed Alzheimer's and lived quietly under her son's care. She passed away on July 27, 2021, at the age of 78. Even though she disappeared from science news for many years, people still talk about her. Some believe she was on the edge of something big. Others think the government may have kept her research private. Dr. Lee's story shows how brilliant minds can vanish from the spotlight. But she wasn't the only inventor to disappear with mysterious technology. Madman Mike Markham, the guy who tried to build a time machine. In the year 1995, a young man named Mike Markham became famous for something really strange. He was a 21-year-old student studying electrical engineering. Mike believed he had found a way to build a time machine. Yes, a real one. It all started in his home in Missouri. Mike was playing with a device called a Jacob's ladder. This device creates a lightning-like arc between two metal rods. He added a laser from a CD player and said it changed the air in a special way. Then something unexpected happened. Mike said he saw a small spinning circle of light appear above the machine. He decided to test it. He threw a metal screw into the spinning light. According to him, it disappeared and reappeared a few feet away. That was when Mike became sure he had discovered something big, a portal in time. But to build a bigger machine, he needed more power. So Mike did something illegal. He stole transformers from a local power station. This caused a big blackout in the area. The police found him and arrested him. He spent about 60 days in jail. After his release, Mike promised to do things the right way. He appeared on a late-night radio show called Coast to Coast AM, where he told his story. The host, Art Bell, gave him the nickname Madman Mike. and the name stuck. Listeners found him interesting. Many sent him money and parts to help him keep building. By the year 1996, Mike had built a huge version of his machine. It was about 15 feet tall and used 3 million volts of electricity. He said he was just 30 days away from testing it on himself. Then, in early 1997, Mike disappeared. He stopped showing up on the radio. No one could find him. Some people thought he had tried the machine and traveled through time. Others believed he got scared and walked away from it all. Years later, in 2015, he returned to the radio and told a wild story. He said he had jumped 2 years into the future and landed in Ohio. He said he had memory loss for a while and lived in a homeless shelter. After some time, he remembered who he was and found his way back. But there were problems with his story. No police reports showed him missing. No records backed up his claims, and he said all his equipment and notes had disappeared while he was gone. In 2023, someone using the name Real Madman Markham posted online, claiming to be him. He answered a few questions, but gave no real proof. People are still unsure if that was really Mike. Mike's time travel claims sound crazy, but at least he came back to tell his story. Our next inventor wasn't so lucky with his return. Nicola Tesla, the missing papers that still have people guessing. Nikola Tesla was one of the most brilliant inventors in history. He gave the world important ideas like alternating current, wireless energy, and even early thoughts about robots and radio. He passed away on January 7th, 1943, at the age of 86. But after he died, a strange mystery began. Tesla had spent his last years living alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker hotel. He had little money, but many believed he still had powerful ideas, including a device he called the Death Ray. This was something he claimed could shoot energy across long distances and maybe even destroy planes in the sky. When Tesla died, the US government quickly stepped in. Agents from the Office of Alien Property went to his room and took all of his papers, notebooks, and boxes. There were about 80 trunks filled with his life's work. They wanted to make sure nothing dangerous could fall into the wrong hands, especially since World War II was still going on. The government gave all of Tesla's papers to a man named Dr. John G. Trump. He was a scientist from MIT and the uncle of future US President Donald Trump. Dr. Trump studied the papers for 3 days. He later said there was nothing useful for real weapons, just wild ideas and unfinished thoughts. But some people think that was just what he said in public. Tesla's nephew, Sava Kosanovich, asked the government to return Tesla's belongings. In 1952, a court said the family could have them back. When the trunks arrived in Belgrade, Serbia, only 60 out of the original 80 trunks showed up. That means 20 trunks were missing. No one ever explained where they went. Some of Tesla's notes may have been sent to a secret military project called Project Nick. This was meant to test if his ideas could be turned into real beam weapons. But later, even those test results disappeared. Over the years, people have asked the FBI to share more about what they took from Tesla. In 2016, the FBI finally released some of the files. A few more came out in 2018. Still, many believe the most important papers are still hidden or classified. Some experts think Tesla's ideas may have inspired later military projects, like the Star Wars defense program from the 1980s. Others believe the missing trunks are either locked away or destroyed. Tesla died alone, but his mind was full of big ideas. After his death, the US government took everything. Some of it was returned to his family, but not all. The missing trunks remain a mystery. Tesla's missing papers remain locked away even today. But sometimes inventors disappear along with their inventions, like our next story shows. Louis Lrass, the man who filmed the first movie and vanished. Louis Lrass was a smart French inventor. Many people call him the father of movies because he made the first known motion picture. In October 14, 1888, he filmed his family walking in a garden in Leeds, England. This short clip is called the Roundhay Garden Scene, and it is the oldest film that still exists today. Louis wanted to show his new camera to the world. He planned to go to New York and hold a public show. He was excited to share his invention and hoped it would be a big success. But before going to the United States, he went to visit his brother in Dijon, France, in September of 1890. On September 16, 1890, Louis got on a train heading to Paris. He had his bags with him. But when the train arrived, Louis was gone. His body and his luggage were never found. His family and police searched everywhere, but no one could find any answers. After 7 years, in 1897, he was officially declared dead. Many people believe he was murdered. Some think it had something to do with his invention. At the time, Thomas Edison was also working on a movie camera. He filed a patent just 1 year after Louis vanished. Some believe Edison did not want Louis to show his invention first. Louis's wife and son believed Edison may have done something to stop him. Others think Louis might have had money problems or personal troubles. Maybe he ran away and started a new life. In the year 2003, someone found a photo of a drowned man from 1890 taken by the Paris police. The man looked a lot like Louis, but no one could prove it was him. Louis's son, Adolphe, also got pulled into the mystery. In 1898, he went to court in the United States to speak against Edison. He said his father's camera came first, but Edison won the case and kept credit for the invention. 2 years later, on August 20th, 1901, Adolphe was found dead on Fire Island with a gunshot wound. Some said it was an accident, others said it was self-harm, but his family believed he was murdered too. There are many theories about what really happened to Louis. Some think he never got on the train. Others believe someone close to him might have been involved. A few even say he lived under a fake name in Paris. Louis vanished right before showing the world his movie camera. Another brilliant scientist also disappeared at the peak of his discoveries. Etto Majorana, the brilliant scientist who vanished. Etto Majorana was a genius from Italy. He was born on August 5, 1906, in a city called Catania. From a young age, he was very smart, especially in math and science. People around him knew he was special. He became a top student of Enrico Fermi, one of the most famous scientists in Italy. Etto was working on big ideas in theoretical physics, the kind of science that deals with how the universe works. In 1937, he wrote a paper about a strange kind of particle. This particle, later named the Majorana fermion, could be its own antimatter. That means it could cancel itself out. At the time, this idea sounded crazy, but today, scientists believe it may be real. Then, something strange happened. On March 25, 1938, Etto got on a boat from Palermo to Naples. He had just emptied his bank account. Before leaving, he sent letters to his family and his boss. The letters were sad and confusing. When the boat arrived, Etto was gone. No one ever saw him again. He was only 31 years old. People have many theories. Some say he ended his own life. Others think he ran away. A few even believe he escaped to Argentina or Venezuela. Between 1955 and 1959, people in Venezuela said they saw a man who looked like him, but nothing was ever proven. One idea is that he did not want to help build nuclear weapons. This was the time when science was being used for war. Maybe Etto left to protect his beliefs. Even though he disappeared, his work stayed important. In 2012, scientists in the Netherlands found signs of the Majorana particle in special wires. Big companies like Microsoft are now using his ideas to build better quantum computers. These computers are faster and smarter than regular ones. Etto Majorana was one of the brightest minds in science. His ideas were ahead of his time. His disappearance is still a mystery. Majorana left behind groundbreaking science but took his secrets with him. Our next inventor claimed his technology could change how we power our cars. Stanley Meer, the man who said cars could run on water. Stanley Meer was an American inventor. He was born on August 24, 1940, and became famous for a bold idea. He said he had built a car that could run on water instead of gasoline. Stanley called his invention the water fuel cell. He claimed it could split water into hydrogen and oxygen using very little energy. The hydrogen would then power a car. He showed off his dune buggy on TV and said it could travel from New York to Los Angeles using only 87 gallons of water. Many people were excited, but scientists said his invention did not work the way he claimed. They said it used regular electrolysis, a method that was already known and not special. Some experts said his idea went against the laws of science. In 1996, 2 investors sued Stanley. They said he tricked them into paying for something that did not work. The court agreed with the investors. The judge called it a clear case of fraud, and Stanley had to pay back $25,000. Then, something strange happened. On March 20, 1998, Stanley was having dinner with his brother and 2 businessmen from Belgium. Suddenly, Stanley stood up, ran out of the restaurant, and shouted, "They poisoned me!" He collapsed and died in the parking lot. The official report said he died from a brain aneurysm, which means a blood vessel in his brain burst. He had high blood pressure, and doctors said it was a natural cause. But his sudden death made many people suspicious. Things got even weirder. Just 1 week after Stanley died, someone stole his water fuel cell and the dune buggy. No one knows who took them or where they went. This made people wonder if someone really wanted to keep his invention hidden. Meyer's sudden death left many questions about his water-powered car. But not all missing inventors worked with machines. Some claimed to see through time itself. Father Pellegrino Ernetti, the monk who claimed he saw the past. Father Pellegrino Ernetti was an Italian monk and also a physicist. He was born in 1925 and passed away in 1994. He was a smart man who loved music and science. In the 1960s, he said he had created a machine called the chronovisor. This machine, he claimed, could look into the past. He believed that everything that happens leaves behind energy. With the right tools, he thought people could watch history, like watching a movie. Father Ernetti said the chronovisor had many parts: antennas, buttons, and screens. He said it could tune into old events. He claimed he saw Jesus Christ's crucifixion. He also said he watched a play from 169 BC called Thyestes, which had been lost for many years. In May of 1972, a photo of Jesus on the cross was shared with the public. Ernetti said it came from the chronovisor, but people later found out the photo looked almost exactly like a statue made by an artist in Italy. It was not real proof. He also said he wrote down the lost play, but experts who read it found problems. A scholar from Princeton said the Latin in the play came from the wrong time period. This made people think Ernetti may have written it himself. Ernetti also said some famous people helped him build the machine. These included Enrico Fermi, a well-known scientist, and Wernher von Braun, a rocket expert. But no one has found real proof that they worked on it. In the 1970s, Ernetti stopped talking about the chronovisor. He said the machine had been taken apart and hidden to keep it out of the wrong hands. Some people believe the Vatican still has it in a secret place. Others think the whole story was made up. Before he died, some say Ernetti admitted the Jesus photo was fake. But he still believed the machine was real. These inventors may be gone, but their stories still spark questions. Were they ahead of their time, or hiding something too powerful? From anti-gravity to time travel, which mystery made you wonder the most? Share your thoughts and let us know which story you'd want to see uncovered next.